Hola gente de YouTube, ¿cómo están? Espero que estén muy bien. Hoy vamos a jugar a The Stanley Parable. Ah, y acá me dice, ¿jugaste a este Stanley Parable alguna vez? No. Ajusta la barra, computadora, balancea apenas visible. Yo lo voy a subir al toque porque soy un ciego de mierda. Introduce la hora actual. Dice que tengo mi cielo acá. Ok. 11 y 1. 11 y 1. Ah, para. 11 y 1, no sé si PM o AM, porque yo no, yo soy medio atoradito. 11 y 11, 11 y 2. Bueno, 11 y 2. Ahí está. Nota, puedes acceder a la configuración de accesibilidad del menú principal. Ok, aceptar. Está cargando. Estás jugando a The Sliding para el B Ultra Deluxe. Iniciar partida, configuración. Vamos a iniciar partida. Never end, the end is never, the end is never, the end is never.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ok. Bueno, para explicarles lo que pasó, él es Stanley, trabaja acá en la computadora, tiene que presionar botones, y era feliz. Hasta que un día se dio cuenta que no hay nadie le daba órdenes, y estaba siempre visto por una cámara que, si me doy cuenta, no está la cámara. Bueno, me puedo agarrar algo acá, puedo agachar, agarrar algo acá. Acá el teclado. No, bueno, listo. La 428 está cerrada.
All
Cerrada.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
¿Dónde es la sala de reuniones? No. ¿Dónde están? ¿Dónde están? ¿Dónde están mis
When Stanley
amigos?
came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted
Ay,
to
le
stop
re,
by the
soy un
employee
estúpido.
lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
¿Qué es eso?
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Do not alter white manager. Ah, no, acá no hay nada. A ver esto. Guau, hermano, no veo la proyectora. Cambio de lugar. Brown closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
¿Puedo cerrar la puerta? No.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ay, no, mejor subo para arriba, ya veo que viene un negro y me viola. Antes de ir allá voy a entrar acá. ¿Sí? Ejecutivo, baño de ejecutiva. Because the boss knows that the boss side goes at, if the boss fat lows that what the boss chose. Y no tengo reflejo. Stream barroom time. ¿No está ni la supervisora? A ver.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Five.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct
What?
by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Wow, boludo, qué gráficas. Mira estas gráficas, boludo. Impresionante. ¿Qué? No puedo agarrar nada, boludo. Dale. Acá hay un ascensor. No se puede ir nada por acá. No, vamos al ascensor. Pichín. Pichín. Loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
¡Ay!
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. ¿Dónde voy? Escape. No puedo saltar nada, boludo. Acá dice escapar. Y ahí dice Mind Control Facility. ¿Dónde voy? ¿Dónde voy, che? Bueno, vamos a hacer de la manera más madura posible. Etin, Marí, de Doping, Wey, Cúcara, Macla, Tin, fue. Yo no fui. Pégale, quien ya fue. La puta que me parió. Bueno, vamos a entrar acá.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Me puedo tirar. Me tiro. ¡No!
¡Ja, ja, ja! ¡El pendejo! ¡El pendejo!
Me caí.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So, here you go. New content.
Contenido nuevo. Puedes llamarlo final del fondo secreto del control mental. Así mejora tu percepción del balón de este ejercicio. ¿No lo que deseas? ¿Contenido nuevo?
More content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are.
Ay, gracias.
Good job, you've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Well done.
Gracias. ¡Lo logré! ¡Sí! ¡Sí!
You did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job. You made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. Should have been careful.
Che, esto no tiene copyright, ¿no?
Used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross.
Sí, 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 sí.
Railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it.
Good job, you did it, sí.
Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
¡Vamos! Bueno, ¿puedo subir arriba?
No porque hay ajajaja XD.
Subí para arriba, vámonos, pibe. Espero. ¡Ay, me mandó al principio! ¡Me estás jodiendo! ¡Hijo de puta!
All of his co-workers were gone.
Sí, todos se Bueno, vamos.
They decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh no, not again.
¿Cómo?
I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Si me quedo acá, me dirá algo el pibe. Para, porque me retó.
¿Qué haces con la puerta, pedazo de retrasado mental? Suéltela porque si no te voy a cagar a palos XD.
Rencha pelota era. Bueno, si voy abajo ahora.
Turning to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
¿De Forest? Me gustó. Bueno, lo voy a hacer después. Vamos, 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 vamos para arriba. Vamos a la casa del jefe, vamos al jefe, vamos con el jefe, vamos con el jefe, vamos con el... La puerta. Vamos con el jefe, 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 jefe. Money, plata. Money para el... No se leer. Che, acá hay otra puerta, no me di cuenta. ¡No! ¡Para! Un ascensor. Bueno, ya fue dentro acá. Si no subo para arriba, a ver. Me pongo en... No. Shit. Sonido MP3 de sensor.
Este estúpido no se da cuenta que es infinito jajajajax de x de x de x de lol.
No puedo agarrar nada. Ah, me agacho con... Opa. Es infinito el ascensor, así que... ¡Oh, Dios mío! ¡No está mi jefe!
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication
Era...
of any human life.
What
What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud.
8,
To nobody.
4.
He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known that. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Me parece que me estoy haciendo una Bueno, estamos llegando. Ta 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 ta. Lo. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ok, volvimos acá.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh, pensé con una persona. Unas tazas de café. Esta computadora. Otra taza de café. Un coso. Hay un botón de cámaras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I fired. Por acá debo estar yo. 487 creo que era. 474. Bueno.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be
Mira,
true.
Fired.
Had Stanley
Fired.
been under someone's
Despedidos.
control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control.
Por otro,
Never.
jamás.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
¿Y si me tiro al agua, esta roja? No, mejor no. Cinco. My control input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
¡Ah! No veo nada. No veo nada, mamá. Mamá.
And a rising chill of
Yeah.
uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
Había
He had
ganado.
defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley
Ay, me cae
reflected
todo
on
por
how
seguro una
many
persona.
puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
¿Dónde están mis
Had they
amigos?
been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life
Oh,
it
qué
is,
bello.
it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Soy libre.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Y fue en todo un sueño. ¿Te imaginas? Termina el juego. ¡Ah, lo terminé! ¡Ah, iba a ser yo segunda parte! Conseguiste tu primer trofeo. Nuevo hito logrado.
Felicidades, lo lograste, pedazo de subnormal, jajajaja jxdxdxdxdxdxdxdxdd lol.
O sea... Ya me lo terminé. Bueno, gracias por ver el video, suscríbanse al canal, denle like si les gustó.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had...
Cerró el orto. Bueno, Gracias por todo lo que vieron el video. Suscríbanse al canal, denle like si les gustó. Síganme en mi Instagram, en mi Kik, en mi TikTok, en mi Twitter, que no uso Twitter, pero síganme igual. Y bueno, nos vemos. Sean felices.
You've been trained for that.
Bueno,
No.
nos vemos.